Well, hello and welcome to a Kooky Corner of YouTube. Today we're going to be looking at something a little more unusual, and this is what we're going to be looking at. So this is black alcohol ink paper, and it's by a company called Frisk, who I know and love. Frisk contacted me a couple of weeks ago and asked me if I would care to try out some of this paper. So of course I said yes. It's not sponsored. I'm not sponsored by Frisk, although that would be beautiful. Yeah, I just wanted to show you a couple of the experiments I've been doing with it. Apparently, you can use this not only for alcohol ink, but for watercolors as well. So let's give it a go, shall we? So here is a sheet of paper. It feels like Yupo paper, but unlike Yupo paper, it's not shiny. It's got a very matte surface. So I'm quite intrigued. It looks interesting to use. Along with alcohol inks, which I don't use an awful lot, but I do and have dabbled with a few times, I also am curious as to how it's going to work with watercolor. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to cut a piece of this off that I have already chopped one piece up here because I didn't want it to be too big. I mean, I didn't want to waste too much of it. I didn't want it to be too big. What are you talking about? So yes, I am going to try my watercolors out on this and maybe some gel pen. Let's see how it goes. Very briefly did have a go with my alcohol inks. I didn't have a white alcohol ink, but I did have like metallics. And so I did a little try of it on here. And so that's going to work. I think if I got a white alcohol ink, which I do have on the way to try this further, then I might get a better idea of how it goes. But I did try out some of my gel pens on there, and they're looking quite nice. But yeah, let's have a go with the watercolor. So I've got this little half a sheet so that we can try out some of my watercolors now. I've got a couple of pans. This one is KJ Designs by Karen, and it's their planets one. And they're nice and beautiful, vibranty, shiny watercolors. And then I've got this little palette that I made up a couple of years back now. I think it's the Sea of Decay one that I put together for my daughter. And we've got a variety of things in here. We've got 3 handmade ones there. We've got some Daniel Smith. We've got Daniel Smith, Daniel Smith, Daniel Smith, Daniel Smith. That's a Rembrandt. That's an opaque white. And I think that's going to work quite well. And we've got this Romans Ocean Blue. So that's Roman Schmaltz. That's a Cobalt Turquoise by Schminke. That's a Rembrandt Chameleon. That's the blue, green, gold version of the chameleon colour. And I've got a Daniel Smith Pearlescent White. Ha! So let's give them a go on this paper, shall we? I don't know where to go first. Where shall we go first? Let's go with the KJ Designs ones. I ought to get my little spray of water just to charge these up a little bit. There we go. So, getting glitter everywhere. I've had had a desk full of glitter. Let me see if I can bring you in a little further. I'll get this so we can see. So let's try Pluto. I love these paints so much. I'm really curious. Oh, I've still got some more glitter on there. I need to turn that over. Let's get rid of the glittery bit. See if I can get rid of that. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Ooh. I'm going to do lots of circles because I like circles. And I'm thinking of an idea I could do a bigger piece with, but this is going down really nicely. Also, one of the good things about this paper is that it doesn't buckle, doesn't kind of crinkle up and buckle. So I am loving that for starters. But this is just really lovely, I have to say. Okay, so that was the Pluto. Let's have a go at Mars. Got to try all the planets, haven't we? Oh yes, oh yeah. This is looking good. Really nice. Ooh, ooh. Hope this is showing up. I'm not sure that it is. I'll take you down a little further. That's not too far. I am really liking how this is working. And it looks better in real life than it does actually through the camera looking through here. Let me see if I can take it up. Look at those. Look how nice they look. This paper is super dark black as well, so that's something I am appreciating. Let me grab my little wipey cloth. Okay, let's go with some Venus. So I'll take you back up again. You can see the process. Oh yes, lovely, lovely. I'm really liking how these metallic watercolors work on here. I'm kind of curious if they will take the ordinary watercolors. I presume it depends on what kind of pigments you've got in there. But for now, I'm seriously loving this. The camera's really not picking up the joy of this as much as it should. Look at that. Look at it. Okay, let's have some of the sun. The sun. Ooh, pretty. Yeah, I really like that. I could sit and play with this all day. It's very relaxing. It's kind of a really cool paper, this. I am loving it. Frisk, this is a winner for me at the moment. Because I do like the idea of working on a black paper. But especially this one, which is so matte. It's a really, really matte background and really dark black. Love it. Okay. Let's try Neptune. Neptune's got a real purpley tinge to it, so I'm curious. Ooh, yes. I will show you properly. I'll hold this up to the camera because it really isn't capturing it as well as it should. I'm hoping the others will show up more. All this. But this is lovely. Love, love, love. Yeah, I need to delve more into the alcohol inks. I have got a selection of alcohol inks that I did work on Yupo paper with quite a few years ago now. This is the Earth one. Probably drying up a little bit because it's quite warm in here. Let me dampen that a little further. Let that go in a bit more. There we go. I really am impressed. I'm liking this. Now the joy of this, apparently, is that if you don't like what you put down, you can just simply wipe it off. So shall we test it? I'll just show you what I've got so far. So look at those. Look at that. You can see it when I tilt it to the light. But if, say, I did not like that last bit that I did, I can just wipe it off. And it wipes off. How cool. Try not to disturb all the others with my wipages. But that is amazing. So it's wipe cleanable. I presume you can put some kind of varnish on this to hold things if you want to keep them. It's got to be the way. I shall have to have a look at what kind of a varnish you'd use for these. Paint that one back in quickly, and then I've got a full set on black. Okay, so kind of impressed with that. Lovely. Hold it back up. Really nice. I like that. Okay, so now we'll go to my Sea of Decay palette. This is named after a Studio Ghibli film. If you know which one, leave a note in the comments. There's no prizes, but you'll just get a thumbs up and a smile from me. That's a prize in itself, isn't it? Bigging myself up here. Right, okay, so let's get some more light on the matter. Okie dokie. Right. Now let's try all those Daniel Smiths on it. I've got the sheet here. Just give it a good old flap. Get all the bits off. And let's go in with my Daniel Smiths. Well, as I say, we've got to mix those top three are handmade ones. So we've got Nebula Fern and Bejeweled. I've got Daniel Smiths. Let's just go into it, shall we? I'll leave this one over on one side to do its drying off. Do I use a full sheet? Shall I use a bit of a sheet? I use a full sheet. Why not? Why not? Although I do feel it's quite precious. I think there was 10 sheets this size in the pack. So what size did I say this one? A6 probably? Is it A6? And did I say it's 150 GSM? So 155 GSM. I apologise. Right. I am going to go with the ones that I think I know will work. So let's try the Rembrandt Opaque White. Oh yeah, yeah, that's definitely going to work. So nice and smooth to paint with on this surface as well. Really nice surface, have to say. I like that a lot. I'm going to go a bit layery with this now. Let's try the Daniel Smith Pearlescent White. I really should have sprayed these first, shouldn't I? Let's get some spray on them. Charge them up a bit. There we go. Okay, I don't want to dip it in that one. Dipped it in the wrong one. And no one wants to do that. Okay, so Daniel Smith Pearlescent White. Let's give this one a shot. Oh yeah. Oh yes. I am imagining that all the interference colours by Daniel Smith would work super well on this. Normally you can't see them unless they're on top of another paint. But at the minute, looking really good. And I can see this much clearer than you can. I just looked at the camera, but look how much that shows up. Oh, it's just beautiful. The way the light hits it. Okay, so we know that the Rembrandt Opaque White works lovely. The Daniel Smith Pearlescent White works lovely. Let's try this Rembrandt Chameleon. This is the, what did I say it was? The blue, green, gold version of. So I'm going to do a big version of this. Oh, ho, 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 ho. This is so lovely. How nice is this? Ah, that's like blissful. So nice, So nice. Right. Look at it. Oh, this is one of those things where actually being in real, you can see this so much better than you can on camera, and I do apologise, but I will try and show you as best I can. Okay, so I've done those. Let's have a look at the handmade pearlescent paints. Yes, knew these are going to show up, and they do very beautifully on this black. I love the fact that this paper is not shifting at all. It's not buckling, it's not moving, it's having water on it, and it doesn't care. Hope you're enjoying this swatching session. I just need to see how these look, and I'm absolutely super impressed. This one is called Fern. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. And the last of the handmade ones I've got here is called Bejeweled. I'm often found on Etsy having a look at the handmade watercolours because I just love them so much. They're really nice to use in calligraphy as well. But on this paper, I am feeling that I could have such a good time with these. Oh yes, lovely. Right, I'm aware that you can't see very much, but when I do this, how cool are they? Beauteous. And I can see that when I'm looking at it now. Unfortunately, the way the light's hitting my desk at the minute, you're not getting the full effect. Okay, so let's have a go with this Schmincke Cobalt Turquoise, shall we? I'm going to do a big version. Oh, look at that. I bet you can see that one. So this isn't metallic, it is just a watercolour, and it's laying down beautifully. And I would imagine that the more opaque watercolours will show up quite well, but we'll try some others as well. It's nice to have all this sea of decay swatched out. I've swatched it out on white paper, obviously, but to have it on this black Yupo is great. Next one is the Roman Schmoll. This is Ocean Blue. Let's have a good whack and go with one of those as well. Nice. So you're not getting like, it's not hitting you in the face like the metallics do, but it is still showing up really nicely. And I am liking it a lot. So let me bring that up. Yeah, you're not getting that as well as I can get it here, but you can see that cobalt turquoise is really nice. It depends which ones you use, and I think you can get a really decent look on this. What shall we do next? Let's try Cascade Green. See how that goes. See, that's still showing up. It's more muted, but it is still showing up. That's super cool. Lovely. Really like that. Okay, so that's all my Sea of Decays swatched out. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. Some of them I don't think would show up, but do you know what? Let's give it a go. Let's have a look at, what's this one? You can't see what that one is. Serpentine Green. Let's have a look at that one. Yeah, that one is not showing up as well. So the greens are not showing up as well. There's that beautiful one, that Schminke Cobalt Turquoise is showing up perfectly. So yeah, you're getting just more of a kind of glazy effect with those ones. So I'm going to leave those to dry off now. Another thing I thought to use is, oops, knocking the camera, the golden fluorescent. These are the high flow acrylics. And I just want to try a little dotty of that. Look at that. Look how that comes up. That, oh my gosh. And I think this would be a fun thing to try them. It doesn't say for acrylics, but you know, I'm just giving everything, I'm just throwing everything at it, see what happens. So I think this is probably best in quite a thick application. I do believe. Although it's quite nice to see the gradation down to the black. But hey, I'm going to leave it like that to dry off. So yeah, I'm kind of impressed with that as well. It's making me think, how would gouache work on this? Would it be too cracky? I don't know. Maybe I'll have to try it. Gel pen. Well, I know that this works because I briefly tried it out and I love it. And sometimes it's nice to go over it twice just to get that really full effect. But that works supremely well. The gel pens work great. I've got these hybrid ones, these dual metallic hybrid. And I am going to try this one. It's pink and a metallic pink. So let's give that a shot. Oh yeah. That's nice. Lovely. I could have fun all afternoon with these. Really nice. And let's try an actual metallic. This one is pigment ink gel. This is a hybrid one as well. Pigment gel ink, silver. Almost instant beauty right there. Goes on so smoothly as well. The gel pens just work on here like a treat. There's no drag at all, which is supremely nice. Let me lift this up again so you can see that. And that gel pen there. There's the pink one in the middle, really cool. So far, the watercolors have worked really well. The acrylics worked really well. My gel pens are working absolutely brilliantly. And I showed you my alcohol ink test. I'm not going to get the alcohol inks again out at the moment because I need to be more careful when I'm using those. But that looks like it's going to work perfectly. I just need to wait until I get a white one to try more with that. So I'm going to pop this over to one side and to dry. And then let's have a go at doing a piece of artwork, shall we? So for this one, I'm going to go with my fluorescent high flow acrylic. This is a golden one. It's fluorescent chartreuse. And I'm going to go with gel pens and we'll see what happens from there. This may be speeded up, just to let you know, because otherwise this gets way too long, but we'll have a go and see what occurs. So there it is, my little art piece on the Frisk black alcohol ink paper with acrylics and gel markers. And I've also found out that because it doesn't sink in, the acrylic sits on top. So once you've got it down, you can then scribe into it, which adds another dimension and possibility to work with as well. It does leave tiny little flecks, but once this is properly dry, that brushes off. So that's not a problem. And yeah, I really quite enjoyed doing that. It's been very relaxing. It ended up as a piece of neuro art. Really enjoyed it, and really recommend you having a go with this if you are interested in either alcohol ink or if you just want to use really bright fluorescence on something dark. I know you could do it on black paper, but this is a different dimension. The whole feel of the paper is completely different. It is like Yupo, but with a matte finish. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, don't forget to show me your thumbs. Show me your thumbs. YouTube likes that when you actually give me a thumbs up, and it will probably push out my video to more people that it thinks will enjoy it if I get some thummy feedback. Thummy feedback, yeah. Go with that, shall I? So that's it from me today. I hope to see you very soon. I'll be back here shortly with something else. Bye for now.